Hello and welcome to Newsform. I'm your host Chris from the Krillcast, and today we've got some interesting topics. But before we get into it, we've got our website, Krillcast.com. A lot of you guys don't even know this exists, but go check it out. Krillcast.com. You've got links to our YouTube channel, our Fruit Lab channel, which we never plug, but we should plug more often. Check it out. Fruit Lab's a cool place. Our official audio version of our live podcast that comes out usually on Thursdays after the live cast is recorded on Saturdays. We've got an official Twitch channel that we basically don't use because who trusts Twitch anymore? And then the Odyssey channel, which is our backup for most of our YouTube videos. If you've checked out our backup channel on Odyssey, which is basically an archive of all of our videos, it's clear to me that Odyssey is a viable alternative to most platforms. However, the traffic there doesn't seem to be interested in our channel. So we will forever be posting to YouTube, Fruit Lab, and Twitch, and Anchor.fm, but also on Odyssey if you're interested in that. So there you go. So today's reminder is go subscribe to our YouTube channel because that's definitely where the largest portion of our audience is. Although you could also argue that Fruit Lab as well. Fruit Lab is a cool place to be. So check it out. Go to our website, click on Fruit Lab. And here we go. The Newsform topic of the day: PS3 emulation on PC has peaked. So there you go. That's the answer. No, that's not. But there's a really great article on PC Gamer we'll get into in a second. I'm just kind of sad you guys didn't want me to talk about the DS developer or the interesting PlayStation patent that came out. So, oof. All right, here we go. So PlayStation 3, basically here we are. RPCS 3, every PlayStation 3 game ever released now boots up on PC thanks to emulation. They might not run well, but every last PS3 game will at least boot on the RPCS 3 emulator, which is awesome because this is essentially a crowdsourced emulator produced by a fan team of the PS3. So PlayStation 3 emulation has come a long way since the developers of emulator RPCS 3 began their journey in 2011. Now a decade later, the team has announced that every game ever released for the Sony console will now boot up on PC. Spotted by Kotaku, the RPCS 3 team announced yesterday that there are now 0 games that straight up won't boot in the emulator. That's a major milestone cleared, though it doesn't mean any of your favorite PS3 classics are all completely playable yet. So here's the official tweet. We're delighted to announce that RPCS 3 now has a total of 0 games in the nothing status. This means that all known games and applications at least boot on the emulator with no ongoing regressions that prevent games from booting. We look forward to emptying out Loadable 2. So basically what they're saying is they've got a loadable category, an intro category, an in-game category, and then a playable category, and then the total of games on the platform, right? So over 2,000 games are playable. That means that they actually boot up and play with no inherent issues that prevent you from playing. I'm not sure if that allows for some errors or like any kind of... I don't know exactly what playable means. I do know that you can play through an entire game, essentially. There's some that will let you get into the game. Some games that only show the intro. And then some games that are only loadable. But there are 0 games that will not at least load. So let's see here. So over 2,000 games, around 63.5% are marked as playable, which means they're working as intended. That's pretty awesome. So here's the main point I get from this, though, is if a fan of the PS3, a fan team is developing this for the PC on their own and essentially making no money doing it, how is it that Sony can't figure out how to bring PS3 emulation to the PS5? And the PS5 is just essentially a PC of some sort at this point. They pretty much use PC architecture in the PS5 and the Xbox Series X. And I can't imagine it would be that difficult for them to bring this kind of emulation to that system. The real question is, why doesn't Sony reach out to these devs of RPCS 3 and say, hey, we want that. We want it on our PS5 system. Can you do it for us? Because really, you're looking at a huge talented pool of people who put this together, and all Sony would have to do is reach out and say, hey, we see what you're doing. We see you're putting on PC. How would you like to come and do this for us on our PS5 system? And who's going to say no to working for Sony, especially on backwards compatibility, when this is a passion project of theirs that they want to bring backwards compatibility to a PC for the PS3, or bringing that to the PS5 would be even more interesting or fun. Considering that Sony's already done an open source emulator on their PlayStation Classic system, why couldn't they do this on the PS5 It really proves that Sony is inept at actually doing backwards compatibility right, unlike Microsoft, who's gotten it pretty well done on almost every generation. The only real miss when it comes to Xbox is they did not carry over the entire backwards compatible Xbox library from the 360 to the Xbox One. Although I don't know if backwards compatibility was always part of their plan. It seems like it was more of a gimme later on to try and get people back onto the Xbox platform. So I'm not sure that Xbox's whole roadmap always included backwards compatibility, but now that they've made that almost a selling point of the systems that they produce, it seems like they'll have to carry that forward. Unlike Sony, who basically killed all backwards compatibility after the backwards compatible PS3s that came out, debuted on the PS3 launch. I have one of those PS3 launch models. It can play almost every single PS1 game, PS2 game, and of course, PS3 games. So, Sony, what are you doing? Why don't we have PS3 emulation on PS5? Reach out to the RPCS3 team and make something happen so that we can get PS3 games on our PS5. This is a fantastic article written by Natalie Clayton of PC Gamer. I will try to link this article in the pinned comment below this video. But yeah, main takeaway here is Sony, what are you doing, and why is the RPCS3 team able to do something you claim would not be possible on your consoles? I don't understand it at this point, why we don't see PS3 emulation or PS3 backwards compatibility in the PlayStation 5. It's just ludicrous. So Sony, get on it. Reach out to the RPCS3 team if you don't have the right intelligence within your own PS5 production team, and let's make this thing happen. I don't understand why it hasn't happened already. So as always, if you enjoy these videos, make sure you like it. Comment your own thoughts down below. What do you think of RPCS3 being able to load up every single game on the entire platform of the PS3? And what games would you like to see be able to be played on PC, or heaven forbid the PS5 actually gets backwards compatibility? What game are you going to play first? Comment down below. And as always, make sure you subscribe if you enjoy the content we put out every single day. So I will see you all on the next one. Make sure you guys vote in the latest Newsworm poll coming out later today. See ya.